as he wants to become Speaker if Republicans take over in 2022. Well, far-right Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's a staunch Trump supporter, says the next Republican running for Speaker will have to earn her vote, and right now, McCarthy doesn't have it. CNN political analyst Rachel Bade, she's co-author of Political Playbook, is with us now. Rachel, good to see you this morning. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way. Good morning.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. The midterms and the race for Speaker, I mean, they're more than a year away. So what is the takeaway here for Kevin McCarthy? Particularly, I have to point out, after last night, we know that Marjorie Taylor Greene said she tweeted that she got off a good call with him, that she spent time talking about solving problems, not only in the conference, but for our country. I like what he has planned ahead. Two different points of view from her in a 24, 48-hour period. What is he to make of that?
Look, I think Kevin McCarthy has a really long year ahead of him. You're right. The midterms are far away. That vote for him to become Speaker is a long way off. But Marjorie Taylor Greene is just starting to realize sort of the depth of power she actually has over Kevin McCarthy. This is a man who has wanted to be Speaker for more than a half decade. He's tried before. He failed to get the speakership because of conservative members like herself who refused to vote for him. And look, he needs her vote. He needs her support in order to get the gavel. And so I think what you're going to be seeing for the next few months, for the next year, is anytime Kevin McCarthy does something that infuriates Marjorie Taylor Greene, infuriates Trump, the far right, they're going to be lording over his head the fact that he wants to be Speaker. And if he wants that job, he needs to please them. One thing I think is interesting is that she tweeted last night that what they discussed pleased her and that, you know, she was happy with what he said. But Marjorie Taylor Greene has been pushing for him to punish members, Republicans who vote on bipartisan bills, punish Republicans who voted to impeach Trump. And Kevin McCarthy has not wanted to do either of these things. So if he made promises that he would do either of these things, that will repel moderate Republicans who may not vote for him for Speaker either. So he's got this real bind right now, and he's going to be in this pickle for a really long time.
There have been a lot of conversations over the last 24 hours about how the far-right caucus has not seen any consequences for any actions that they take, particularly in response to Representative Boebert, who who said some pretty anti-Semitic things to about Representative Omar, and Representative Ilhan Omar took back at her on Twitter. It was somewhat of a Twitter fight, but we know that Boebert tweeted an apology, which was different from anything that we've seen thus far. Does that apology, Rachel, does it mitigate what might happen to her? And can she say, well, I apologize, so that's why? Or are we seeing a far-right Republican Party that is just not willing to go after one of their own?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. In addition to Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, who you just mentioned, you know, making a lot of Islamophobic comments. I mean, Ilhan Omar, She wears her turban sometimes on the floor. She wears her hijab, saying she can get in an elevator because she doesn't have a backpack and they'll be safe. I mean, really sort of despicable comments from a member of Congress, things that we haven't seen in recent years, but we're starting to see more of. I think the difference here with her is that, like you said, she apologized. That is something we haven't seen from a lot of these far-right fringe new members. A lot of them sort of fundraise off of these sort of comments. They become popular with them in their districts, and they sort of lean into them. And so the fact that she tweeted an apology and said that she actually called Ilhan Omar's office to try to speak with her and apologize, that's something different. And so, you know, at a time right now when there's a lot of partisan tension on the Hill, you know, there's a lot of really ugly comments. We saw a congressman just last week censured for tweeting a video of himself killing another congresswoman, a liberal congresswoman, and lose his committee post for doing that. The fact that you actually have a lawmaker willing to say sorry and admit mistake is something that I think we should all sort of applaud. And, you know, we'll have to see if she is true to her word and doesn't act like that again. But at a time when things are really heated, that's quite different. And so we'll see what happens when lawmakers come to town next week. Do they still try to punish Boebert for what she did? Is this apology enough? we'll have to see. But it's definitely something different from the friction we have seen on the Hill.
No doubt. And I need to correct myself. I think I said anti-Semitic. I don't know where that came from. I meant anti-Muslim. Yes. Thank you so much. Rachel Bade, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Well, during the 1920s, the Osage people of Oklahoma were among the richest in